Assalamualaikum guys, back with me Dr. Ulka here for lab level 5. For this level we're gonna learn about C sharp. So let's begin. So basically when you open the script in Unity, you'll first notice a few things, which are mono behavior, start, and update. So a mono behavior, what is it actually? Is a Unity specific class that every script derives. So monobehavior scripts are very useful or very specifically useful for game development. So for monobehavior, there are two main things, which is the first is start and update. Okay, start and update basically are just methods. Start runs once when the game begins. So it used to initialize the script. Okay, for the update, it runs every frame. If you know that the game is divided into frames, you can imagine of old school flip books where each page is a frame, and this method will be called at least 90 times for every second. The others are awake, okay, which is runs before the start. Okay, on-enable runs when the script is enabled, and fixed update is frame rate independent update for physics. So this is the first, I would say, example of C sharp script in Unity. So you can see that public class, okay, means it can be accessed by public. The file name is my first script and mono behavior. Okay, so awake, it will run before start. Alright, so awake will comes first before start. And start is to initialize, means like, hey, awake is like the alarm, and start is like when you want to get up from the bed. You have to start to wake up and move your feet. And then on enable, it will be run when the script is enabled, means the start has come and it will enable the script. And for the update, it will update once for every frame. And if you want to do any physics, it will be coming for the fixed update. We will see the example later on. So let's start with awake first. What is awake? It runs before start. Okay, so to initiate the variable when the game hasn't started yet. So the game hasn't started yet, but they have initiated the variable in the game. So when the awake is called when the script is running. And after all, the objects have been initiated, so you can call other object. Right? Do you understand? And this is the example. So for example, awake is being called. Awake dipanggil. Unity engine debug lock object. This is you can find in the console. Yeah, console tab. So this is all the main default things from Unity. So public class latihan awake means exercise for awake. Mono behavior. Void awake. You can just say debug lock awake dipanggil. Okay? So you can just make another function like awake is being called just to see how awake is working. Then we will see one by one. Okay? The first line are, what's this? The default libraries when our script are created. So all these are the libraries from Unity. We can also add other library like scene, UI, and etc. It depends on our project. And then Later, the second line is public class latihan awake mono behavior. This is the name of the script, and it must be the same with the file name of the script. Okay, mono behavior it's also default. And then void awake. This function will be called as long as the script is executed. So this is the first time when before they call start. And then finally, after it's executed, it will be called after the other function, which is awake dipanggil. Okay, this will be called after the awake function is executed. So this has to come first, and then after that this can be executed. Alright, so that's the logic behind the scripting. Okay, how about the start? It will be called when the script is activated, right before the update function is called for the first time. Like the awake function, start is called right after the script is in active mode. So what is the difference between awake and start is awake is called when the script is initiated. It doesn't matter whether the script is executed or not. So it's just the initialization. But whether the script is executed or not, it's not the awake function, but it's the start function. Okay, means if it start already means the script is active, but if it's only in awake, it's just initialize, okay, or initiated. Alright, so you understand what is the difference between start versus awake. Next is example of the start. Okay, same. Okay, if you type this coding in the Visual Studio, all it will result this in your console. Okay, so this is the result and this is the coding. Same with the previous, these are the three main libraries, the three default libraries in Unity. This is the file name and this is the start. Okay, this is the function. And now we combine awake and start. Okay, this is awake and this is start. Okay, all of them has the same function. It's just how to show when it will be used. Alright, awake will come first before start, and this will be executed the second after the awake is executed. Same with the start, dipanggil will be executed after the start here is executed. Alright, okay, update. How about update? It will be active if mono behavior is activated, will be called after start is called, and this is the mostly used function to apply the game script, but not all which need this script. So normally we create new method to declare one function. So this is the example of update. So if you type this update on Visual Studio, it will result this. Okay, this is the result. And every update it will have time, delta time, because it will update based on the time. You can see this is the time when it updates. Okay, so this executed when update function is run and will show the same time. Alright, so it will be executed after this update, executed, and it will show the same time. So let's see how about the fixed update. So usually fixed update is used to if you use any rigid body in your project, so it will use fixed update. So this is the example of the coding script. Okay, um, you can see that this is similar with update, but it's just add the fixed update. Okay, but it will only normally used for rigid body, not for other object. Okay, late update called when all update functions are called. It's used to give the log console to execute the script, and camera follow normally will be placed here. Okay, so after the all update function are called, it will call late update. Okay, so this is the late update. After the update and fix update come, it will come for the late update. But this is not this is just not happens every time. It only comes like sometime. So these are the combination of fix update, update, and late update. Okay, normally we will use update um, for game scripting. We'll use this more than fix update and late update. Alright, so variable. I'm pretty sure all of you knows what is variable. Variable has two things, which is value and reference. So this value consists of integer, float, double, bool, character, structs, and reference are string, classes, transform, and game object. So transform and game object are the child of classes. Values type is the basic of primitive type like character, integer, and etc. Value. Okay, primitive data type. And reference type is the collection of class or complex data which are built from the primitive data type. Basically, reference comes from the value. Okay, so let's see the example. And okay, this is modifier access, how to know public, protected, and private. Public, it can be accessed from other class. For example, alif means other class can access this file, this variable name alif. But if it's protective, only can be called from the derived class. Okay, so not all class can access this class. And the private, it's only can be accessed from the class itself. Okay, because it's private, it can be called from that class itself, not even from the derived class. And default variable that has the same access with private. Okay, how to declare it a variable? Okay, global variable is can be used by all function or all method. Normally in Unity 2019 or 2018, they will have this global variable. Okay, so it can be used or called by all function or all method. So sometimes maybe you have to make it more specific. But for example, like this one, string name deco global variable, and you can uh, call this name here, and you can also call it again here. Okay, this is the command where you can call it here or call it here. Okay, and this is local variable which can be called by method or function where it was declared. Okay, so since it's declared here, okay, under the start, it can be only called here but cannot be called in update. So if it's declared in start, it will only be called in start, not in update. Constant variable which has the constant value and cannot be changed. Okay, for example, this one 1 2 3 4, the ID, this one cannot be changed. Static variable which can only be called by other class without has to create object from that class itself. So 1 2 3 4, it can be called by other class without it has to create from the class itself. So you can just, this is static variable, you can type public static string ID and you can type it in, you can call it in start without you have to create in start class. Okay, how you write variable? To differentiate between variable class and function, you have to start with lowercase. Timer name. More than two words like this, smaller and uppercase. Lowercase, uppercase. Player, controller, or change color. It's actually up to you. You can also make big, big. I mean, uppercase, 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 as long as it has uppercase and lowercase. But it's not applied for constanta, guys. All are uppercase. For example, token, or if it's more than two words, it has the underscore, which is token underscore ads. So this is exercise 1, guys. Okay, please type this in your Visual Studio or Notepad++ or any scripting software you have that can connect with Unity, and you can refer how to do the scripting in lab level 3 in the video that I have posted in my YouTube channel. This is the exercise 1. Okay, this is the variable, and this is the exercise 2. Alright, okay, so this is exercise 3. We will see the difference, and I would like you to submit the answer for your lab attendance, okay, to you learn by latest next week. Alright, so thank you so much for listening and watching. I wish you good luck for your lab exercise. See you and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.